to go to this, and that is Uber finally making a move to buy a rival food delivery service, and that is Postmates, who they finally picked up. Now, this comes on the heels of weeks of speculation that Uber was looking to buy up another competitor, Grubhub being one they were going after for a while. Grubhub ended up being taken up by a European food delivery service called Just Eat Takeaway, and so they are going to be combining forces now to take on the North American market. But Uber picking up Postmates for $2.65 billion. A lot of speculation going on ahead of time about Postmates maybe going a different direction, maybe retooling their own service, but instead they have ended up selling to Uber Eats. Now, this puts Uber probably in the second, continuing on with their second place spot for food delivery in the U.S. So number one is DoorDash. DoorDash has the biggest market share. Uber Eats now with Postmates, Postmates being previously number 4, now combining with Uber Eats, so expanding their service, still not enough to overtake DoorDash, but Grubhub is going to be, of course, expanding what they're going to be offering as this combination of them and Just Eat Takeaway continues on. And we see this naturally in this time of a pandemic. Food delivery is a huge business. Some of the speculation here, actually, some numbers that came out, was that Uber said gross booking revenues for its rides segment was down 80% in April from a year earlier, but food delivery was up 50% during that period, and I would expect that that's probably going to be increasing quite a bit as we see more competition. These services are trying to beef that up. A little bit of consolidation in the industry, but there it is, Uber picking up Postmates for $2.65 billion. They did say Postmates is going to continue to operate as of now standalone. They're going to start slowly increasing more Uber services into that. I would expect that at some point they'll combine into one service, but right now Postmates will remain as it is, just with Uber being the owner of it. You can read more about that at digitaltrends.com. Continuing on here with trending news today, let's go to Samsung. Now, last week we talked about some rumors about some new Samsung Galaxy Note Ultra phones, and these would be the new ones that we normally anticipate that would come out later on this year. Well, now we've got another rumor, I guess, to go off of, and it has to do with when the Samsung Unpacked event will take place. And there it is, August 5th. So that is coming from Ice Universe. They're a Twitter account that frequently they're pretty accurate, honestly, with a lot of the leaks that they have. So they're saying that this will be when the Galaxy Note 20 is going to be announced. And again, we saw some images that were accidentally leaked by Samsung, showcasing kind of that 3 camera array on the back. There's always a chance that could change or be inaccurate, but it's looking like that's probably what the design is going to be. So that's the Galaxy Note 20 and the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. We also had speculation on the prices for those being $999 and $1299. That goes pretty much along the lines of what we've seen with flagship phones. And then the other parts of the rumor here, and this is more stuff that's coming out today that's been speculated for a while, is that the Galaxy Fold 2, which is going to be called the Galaxy Z Fold 2, will also be unveiled. So it looks like Galaxy Z is going to be the name of the line of all the foldable phones. And we already have the Galaxy Fold out. Galaxy Fold 2 should be a little bit different. It may even be lower in price. But again, a lot of speculation going on. But it does seem to be that we're going to be getting some announcements from Samsung about this stuff going forward, even though these are rumors. Things change a little bit, but it's starting to get dialed in. So August 5th is the speculated date for Galaxy Unpacked. Continuing on with this, let's talk about one other piece of trending news. This has to do with WhatsApp and data requests in Hong Kong. Now, this could be kind of a sign of where we're going in a lot of other places, but for those of you who haven't followed it, of course, the Hong Kong protests that are going on, they've been going on for months. With that, there was a new law passed in China that required Hong Kong law enforcement and Hong Kong local authorities to supervise the internet. And we all know that China has their Great Firewall, which blocks out a lot of things online from their citizens, but Hong Kong was an exception to that. Now, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google, everybody's getting requests from law enforcement for users' data. And WhatsApp said they are not going to do it today. They said they're going to be suspending that, pausing reviews, pending further assessment of the impact of the national security law, including formal human rights due diligence and consultations with human rights experts. So this is WhatsApp making that statement today, again, about how they're going to handle some of that. And we know that law enforcement requests data on a number of different levels, but this is what they're doing there. So WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google, all saying they're going to halt this, but Facebook and WhatsApp being the big ones announced today. Read more about that at digitaltrends.com. Continuing on with trending news, if you are an iPhone user, here's something that may have been happening that you didn't even realize was going on, and that is apps scanning your notepad. So these are apps that were looking at your clipboard, or excuse me, clipboard on iPhone. I'm an Android user. I'm used to saying notepad, but clipboard. And so these are apps that were scanning this and looking at your information that you had in there, something that you probably didn't even realize they were doing or want to get permission for. And this was discovered because of an iOS 14 beta that came out that alerts users when apps attempt to do so. So now people are starting to become aware of it because of this iOS 14 beta. And there are a bunch of different companies who are saying, well, we didn't realize we were doing that, but we're going to fix it now. And that includes LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, Starbucks, Overstock, all of these companies, Reddit being one of them as well. Saying they're now going to release updates that will fix that so that it doesn't happen. But again, it's taking a look at what we're going to get with iOS 14, and that's coming out later this year. Probably September is when it will start rolling out. But for those of people who are on the Apple Beta program, which is a paid program you can be a part of, you can get some of that right now. So again, iOS 14 will be letting you know if some app or company is trying to snoop on your clipboard. So continue on here with trending news today. Another event being announced, and this one officially. This is coming from Microsoft as we see the battle between the new Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 heating up, still both scheduled for fall releases. We don't know the prices yet. We don't know release dates, but we are going to see more from Xbox coming up later this month. On July 23rd, they're going to be having their Xbox Series X Games event, and with that, you're going to get to see more from Halo. Halo Infinite being one of the games that's probably touted as most likely coming out when the Xbox Series X does release. We don't know that for sure. That's probably something we'd find out there, but we will get to see some more game footage, and that's what they're touting for this event. So game footage from that. We'll probably see some more things from a lot of exclusives. They've acquired 15 Xbox game studios, so they've been, like PlayStation, like Sony, trying to snap up game developers to beef up their proprietary offerings. So again, that's coming out on July 23rd. We'll have more of a breakdown of what we expect at digitaltrends.com once Lisa Marie Segarra will be able to take a look at that, our gaming editor. But this is what's coming up later this month. So July 23rd, I'd expect more battles back and forth between them, which is exciting for all of us. I mean, it's great to see these two companies kind of go toe-to-toe and see what we get out of that, but that's coming up later this month. And finally, in trending news, this relates to something else we're going to be talking about here a little bit later. As this pandemic continues on, but people do go back to work, go back to school, or figure out how we're going to manage our workplaces. This is all rapidly developing. Cleaning up is going to be a pretty important thing in sanitizing these places, and that's where robots could come in. So this is one solution coming from MIT. This is their Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, or CSAIL. They work on very futuristic technology. This is one where this would be a robot that can go through a floor space and sanitize it using UV rays, one of the ways that it does seem that this would be effective against viruses. However, not really good for people necessarily to be in there while that's going on. So this is something where a robot could come along. You'd see that on like a grocery store, as clearly this is a warehouse where it would be able to sanitize that stuff. And that's just one example. Now they're saying this is going to be a ways before something like this would be released from them. But you can read more about that one at digitaltrends.com. But